Zest is in, where resilience begins, not fixing the cracks.
Hello everyone and welcome to Zest is in with me, Shel Marie, the podcast that'll take you on a journey from the hustle to the harmony, fueling your passion whilst finding your peace. I am super excited today to welcome my guest, Adam Dickinson, a logic to intuition integration advisor and future self-strategist who helps analytical, high-functioning professionals decode their inner signals and make grounded, aligned decisions. With over 15 years as an FBI Intelligence Analyst, he shows us how to bridge logic and intuition, moving from indecision and self-doubt to clarity and confidence. Together, I am sure we're going to explore how to trust your inner intelligence without abandoning reasoning and step into the life and leadership with calm certainty. Wow. I'm sure just like you listening to that, I've got so many things that I want to ask him. And if you feel called, I invite you to share a little love by subscribing to future episodes. It costs you absolutely nothing, but means so much, not only amplifying the voices of my guests, but it reaches many more hearts and minds. So if you have, thank you. And may this episode bring you all the clarity and the intelligent insight that you may not know that you are seeking, but you might find, in fact, you will find many really powerful gems along the way. Welcome, Adam.
Thank you, Shel Marie. I'm really happy to be here, and thanks for having me.
You're so welcome. And where do we even begin? I'm just like, wow, what are we going to start with?
Yeah, whatever comes to mind, let your intuition guide, as I say.
Well, you've just, that shows the alignment, because that's actually what I was just about to talk about. Because again, and it's definitely not, saying it as a gender thing, but the amount of times I speak to males in particular about the word intuition, which I think males do talk about, but they don't really use that word. Yeah. I am super curious how you bridge logic and intuition.
Yeah, you hit on a good point, because just for your audience, I practice an intuitive modality called the Akashic Records. Yeah. And just generally I describe it as the soul's energetic library of information that you have access to through kind of a private radio station, if you will, to talk with or convene and get guidance from your higher self, the best version of you, essentially. And when I was learning this process, I did notice, spot on, there was a lot of lovely ladies who were learning this and teaching it. And then I was like, where are all the men?
But I also think that's something that really is standing out to me about you, because I don't think necessarily that they're not connecting to their intuition. I think there's something that's still kind of, I don't know, a gap. But I feel like, actually, no, we need leaders like you to confidently step up, use the word. And that's the thing about their words often. And once we normalize them and we really just let go of the stigmas and things held to them, they become just like any normal word. So
yeah. Oh, so many threads I could pull on that. You made a fantastic point. And I just want to hit home for your listeners is that the language that I use has taken me a while to get to this point.
Thank
you. So, for example, I've been using language like gut response, resonance, connection with yourself, different sort of mindfulness words and phrases and concepts. But then when I'm looking at intuition in particular, I could go down the esoteric route and speak that language. And it's been challenging knowing where to go with the conversation. But you also bring up another good point about, as a male in this space, and especially an individual who practices the Akashic Records, I've noticed that when I'm talking to other men, I do try to understand their journey and where they're going from and to, and whether or not, the transition from more feminine energy or masculine energy, where that's at. But yeah, you hit a really great point right off the bat that I noticed there weren't really a lot of men practicing work.
I'd love to know your take on this, because this is something that I often question, because I think what you so beautifully just expressed is, we've noticed an almost like a gap, and it's like sometimes I believe like you need to be in your authenticity, and you need to use words that align with you and express yourself in the way you express yourself. But I think equally, in order to really get your message across to for all to understand, sometimes you have to adapt it to the language that people are going to be able to relate to. And I think often again we say it's only a word, but as we know from, you will definitely know this from the Akashic records and things like that, there are words that can be said and you've lost that person mentally because they have gone back to either a memory or whatever, a feeling, something that happened to them, a smell. All sorts can be triggered just by, well, even smells. A smell could, but I mean like when we focus on words. So as much as possible, like even for my newsletter, I often take like sometimes quite out there concept, but I always try to challenge myself. How can I write this in a way that everybody can understand and relate it to their life? And that's just something I personally do. And it's not being inauthentic. It's just, for me, I believe that if you want to really get your message out, and you often, those ones that understand those words that are on that journey don't actually really necessarily need it. Whereas it's the ones often that are still in that confusion, or that are seeking something, but they really don't know what they're seeking. Because I don't know about you, I didn't use these type of words when I was just wandering around like, okay, ow, this has happened to me again, and this has happened, and just thinking that's what life is. It just happens to you. You don't actually have a choice. So I know it was very long-winded, but I hope you get what I'm trying to say.
No, I do. And if I may build on that, when I am looking at the concepts and words that I use, I noticed that when I was doing, for example, my analytics at the FBI, that when I was in a flow state, I could feel words and phrases. And to me, words, language has an energetic signature that resonates or it doesn't. And so depending on where your vibration in terms of like the mind-body synchronization, that where you're at on your journey and what you're growing into, what you've shed, the phrasing, the marketing, the salesmanship will either land or it won't. And it's something I'm still working on. Yesterday, actually, I was in a networking meeting call, and like, okay, give us your pitch. And I said something, and to the effect of, I help essentially individuals create, build, and refine like their internal GPS system. So
some people are like, gone, checked out. GPS? What? We talk about cars now?
Well, essentially. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. I didn't really talk about it in like, what is your pain point, if you want to use that word, or what's your problem you're going through? And I'm still working on it, but my goodness, it's taken a while.
But I equally think, because I always think like, and I guess people might watch this and say, she says this and then she says that, but no, the whole point is there isn't ever an answer, would you say? So I think also what I just shared about trying to make it in a relatable way, equally, there are some people that are not ready, they don't need to hear it, and it's not their time to hear it. And that's okay. And the beautiful thing is about alignment is those that can understand, can connect to, or are intrigued, curious,
Hmm.
they will be sparked by it, even if it's now or in a week's time, or they think back, oh gosh, I remember when that person said, and that's the beauty of it, I think. So it's kind of like you want to be open to both, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I would
Because
agree.
equally, if you then modify it too much, and when I say you, I don't mean you, I mean anyone.
Yeah.
When we modify it too much, then sometimes then when we do speak, say that language or something, it feels so far out there because you haven't used it. So there's a way of like weaving in, I think, both,
Mhm.
which is yeah. So yeah, thank you so much already. I'm really enjoying this conversation, and you touched on it a little bit, but I'm really curious how over 15 years in the FBI has really played into, and I'm sure there was lots of little gems on the way. But if there's anything you feel like the listeners would benefit from hearing about that, please share.
Yeah, yeah, sure. So just generally my journey, I started off in the FBI doing a lot of more um, supporting FBI investigations from a tactical level, meaning like helping an individual figure out what to do next, day to day,
Mm,
figure out how they can close the case, if you will.
yeah.
That was fun, but I realized I like big picture, looking at the big picture and figuring out those global trends, those national trends. And through my journey at the FBI, I did kind of realize, now that I'm reflecting back on it for a moment, I realized that I was always led by my intuition and where my gut was bringing me forward to. And it wasn't until mid-career that I had a very traumatic event.
Mm,
But for the longest time, my career was very head-driven, very logic. I needed evidence. I needed that sense
mm,
of control. And it wasn't until I had this painful life experience that I had to take a moment and figure out how to navigate things. And
mm.
this is where the different parts of me, which my purpose is to show and teach others how to integrate logic and intuition to make aligned decisions.
Yeah.
That moment to just sit with it, sit with that pain, and go inward was my journey into more the feminine energy, you could say.
Yes, no, abs
Uh,
and thank you again for really highlighting something that is kind of, again, it's like, oh, female. No, it's not female. We have both. But again, it's, and that is it, the intuition, whether we like it or not, that is that feminine energy. And it's been so suppressed and downplayed of, yeah, but do you really know? Yeah, but it's something I feel. It's something, whether it's right or whether it's wrong, it's my truth. And if that you don't believe that, that's your truth. And equally, back to the logic, we don't want to be too woo-woo out there and, oh, when I think this about this and this and this, like, balance, grounded.
right.
Um, be curious, like what we'll probably talk about again. Really tap into those. I think the way you say it, decode those inner signals.
Mhm.
Um, and so this is why I'm really enjoying this conversation, because I think actually when you kind of have a conversation with the women, it's like what they say: if men speak to men, men only know what men are going to share. Women speak to women, we're only going to know what the women know in that
Sure.
circle. But
Yeah,
when, say, I now connect with you, who
yeah.
almost has had that masculine energy and still has, but
Mm-hmm.
has now started exploring that feminine, it's a very different conversation, I think.
Yes, I would agree. And maybe I'll add, just reveal a little bit behind the scenes of my sort of secret sauce. I'm a gay man, so relating to feminine energy is maybe a little easier. So my, like, being a
Yeah,
gay
but
man,
also not necessarily, and you know that.
I know. No,
Because, yeah, I have a lot of gay friends, and you walk into some of those places, and these men are very much not in their feminine energy at all. There's many of us that all make the world go round.
oh my gosh.
But I
Uh,
hear you, I hear you. And I remember
uh,
sorry, just go off task. I remember saying to my friend, he's nice. He said, Shelley, you don't just go in and pick them. I was like, oh, it is the same as dating. You don't just walk in somewhere and say, oh, he'll do. Like you.
Right, right. Oh my gosh, that is too funny. Yes, yes, that is spot on. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Love that little.
Sorry,
That
this
was,
is Zest, and we come back and we go on, we come back.
yes. Yeah. Could you help me out though to come back to what
So you
question
were
would?
expressing about you were saying obviously your preference, and then you're
Yeah.
saying about it's easy with the feminine energy. But I
Right.
noticed you said prior to that you
Mhm.
wasn't always connecting to your feminine energy. And then
That's
obviously
right.
I just took us off on a whole tangent that probably we didn't even need to speak about, but it's fine.
Yeah. All right.
A
I
little
love it.
joy in there.
Yeah, I love that. So when I went through that painful experience, up to that point, I was very much strategy. How do I create leverage in it, whatever I was doing, because I was trying to seek accolades and results and achievement. And at that point, everything just did not make sense to me personally, and for me as a human being experiencing itself or my soul's sort of journey,
Mm,
I realized that I needed to embrace a different side of me, which was that caring side, that gentle
mm,
side, that soothing side. And I started to soothe myself, heal myself, and it actually created this new technique. I want to say, for me, it was a technique or a skill of leading myself.
mm,
For the longest time, I'll say, as I was maturing as a man, I had sort of relied on others for different reasons, and I
yeah,
wasn't completely in alignment with myself and a whole individual um, navigating life's challenges.
yeah.
And at that point, I essentially had to start to develop that inner guidance, that inner self-leadership, that inner compassion to
Mm-mm.
keep moving forward. So,
Not to go too far out there because you want people to be on the topic, but also would you say thinking about the Akashic records and things that you explore,
yeah.
often without calling it a soul fragmentation, we are fragmented when we at first, all of a sudden open, if you like, the Pandora box or go down the rabbit hole, and then it's like you kind of one foot this side, one foot that side, and then everything is kind of like, and I think you almost have to again take and ground, and you have to take and ground, and I also believe, even though we think of a mother nurturing generally and
Mm,
maternal, I think we've all on some level had to do that because
mhm,
again, I think this whole everything outside of us, well, actually, a mother brings you back in, I think, and holds you, and when you start aligning with like, oh, actually, I was told that, but that's not actually me.
right.
That's not something you can seek outwards. That's only something you can seek inwards. So even if you've had the best parents, you've had whatever experience, there's fragments of us that we are the ones that are sole responsible for really anchoring them and bringing them back in. Like we can listen to that talk, we can hear like even your incredible sharing, but we have to integrate it ourselves always.
Right.
So thank you for that.
Yeah, and if I may build on that, I love what you said because that also is sort of a reflection of my work in helping folks gain that inner sovereignty and agency over what
Yeah.
they're doing. And you just said it very lovely, and it reminded me of a conversation I had recently with another collaborate. I like to collaborate, so I was doing a project with someone where we did a presentation, and the topic was interpreting your inner signals.
Mm,
And we were talking about the difference between fear and intuition, and how do you tell the difference. And what you just said sort of prompted this idea. A gentleman asked me a question. He's like, something to the effect of, Adam, how do you move through that uncomfortable
Mm,
stage and keep going forward when you have so much fear? And
mm,
he said, there's like a sense of care that you need to bring with you. And I had this sort of aha moment during that question. I said, well, yes, to me, when you have that mothering nature about yourself and you're guiding yourself, it's kind of like energetic swimmies that you
yeah,
on as you sort of swim up through this uncomfortable stream of life. So, but
yeah.
anyway, just wanted to add that.
No, that absolutely, it's beautiful. Thank you so much. And I also equally feel like this is just something that I've noticed. Whether I'm quietly, whether you call it prayer, meditation, whatever, going inward, I notice that for me, if I feel some sort of contraction or I feel like I'm questioning, I
Mm,
know that that's something that probably doesn't belong to me. And it's
mm,
not again saying like, because essentially fear really actually doesn't, because yes, it does in the sense of what's previously happened to us, but that actually is no longer a part of us. And I know that's very, very hard to accept. And there's been really traumatic things that have happened to many people that really trigger things. But that equally is showing you something that needs that loving healing still.
right. Hmm.
And it isn't a tick and done, it's an ongoing process, and you be kind and compassionate to yourself. And there could be some people that really, may not be able to in overcome it, and that's okay, that's their journey.
Right.
But essentially, if there's ever anything I feel that is contracting, I question it and I think, okay, that's interesting. Why am I feeling that?
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
so thank you for that.
Yeah.
Wow, what a really, I feel like probably some people are like, whoa, we're talking about so many layers here, but I love it.
Yeah, definitely a lot of topics we can pull on.
Yeah, so I'd also love, as we're on the intuition
Yeah.
conversation and it's linked to your framework, into logic.
Hmm. Yeah.
Recognize, interpret, align, act.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Yeah, you're on top of it, Shel Marie. Yes.
Feel free to share what you want to share.
Yeah. So the backstory there is, and I alluded to it a little bit earlier, as I was going through my journey at the FBI, but also once that big life-changing moment happened and I went inward, I had these like two different sides of me.
Yeah.
One was very logic driven, doing the analysis at the FBI, and that when I would go home, I would meditate and start to observe
Mm,
and really recognize energy. And then I eventually got introduced to the Akashic Records, and it just made sense to me to explore this modality. I use it as a tool because to me, it's kind of like a treasure map to all the
mm.
different answers that you could ever want to your deeper
Wow.
question. And as I was on these two different paths at the same time, because I came from the US intelligence community, I look at intuition as just an additional data source.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, building this capability to recognize this inner intelligence, this additional data source, question it and interpret it for yourself, which there's a lot of different techniques to do that.
Mm.
I don't say I cheat, but since I go into my records and interpret it a little bit differently than most, so I have that additional tool. But then when I was on my journey in mastering the Akashic Records, um, I started to notice that I would bring in information from that approach with my analysis at work. I would
Mm.
start to bring them together, and I'm like, oh, this is fascinating. And then I would get even deeper into it when I was in a flow state, and I would be able to feel out analytic judgments.
Wow.
And I would know, like, okay, this is what needs to be said right now, right because of this reason for this particular
Mm.
customer audience. And I would use more of my intuitive gifts at first to scope the bigger picture, and then because everyone, I guess, needs some evidence, need the logical part, I would then start to
Wow.
look at things and deduce the argument. But that's essentially through my personal experience. I wanted to create a steps framework, whatever you might want to use, so
Yeah.
others can start to do this for themselves.
Amazing. And again, you just so beautifully, I believe, just explained again what we were talking about of, that doesn't feel all woo-woo and out there. That feels tangible, that feels grounded, that feels concrete. And I can see how in particular, not again genders, but men could relate to that. That's something you can relate to. That's
Yeah.
not, just it's just something I feel, It's like and then they're like, okay. So I think that's incredible. And I also believe that, everything that's led us up to the point that we're at always plays a perfect role, whether we know it or we don't know it, whether it was just to meet someone, have that connection, learn a lesson. I believe it all plays its perfect part in the journey and continues. So I love that. And you actually answered my next question, which was whether you are doing that just by yourself or you offer it to other people, but you so beautifully answered that. So I'm just, for people listening, that's obviously something you can reach out if you're curious or you already know about it,
Mhm.
and get in touch with Adam for, and of course his framework as well. All his information is going to be in the description. Of course, if there's anything else, because I want to be mindful of the time and like you being here, so I don't want to overextend myself. But if there's anything else you feel like the listeners would really benefit from hearing, or something you feel like that you'd like to share, still feel free.
Yeah, thank you. I think right now I'm in my journey where I am getting to meet lovely individuals like yourself, Shel Marie,
Thank you.
and really figuring out what I can do to support people right now. Because my vision right currently is to create sort of a new norm around this inner intelligence being part
Yeah,
of everyday decision making, and making sure that it's sort of commonplace, it's not weird, it's
yeah,
a
yeah.
regular thing. And then from there, seeing how we can expand that to something greater. And that's really what I'm here to do, and how my purpose plays a role in that. But I would love to, if you're listening, connect with you if you're navigating an internal shift and want more clarity in your decision making. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. I share insights each week on logic to intuition, integration, and practical ways to understand your inner intelligence. So it would be great to chat with you further there and see what magic we can make.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. What a 360, like that. Yeah, it's just all come out so organically, and I really enjoyed creating this episode with you. And I too am very intrigued, because I am sure that moment when, and not one moment, I'm sure multiple moments of, and still ongoing, when you tap into your own Akashic records. I believe it's a real superpower.
Mhm.
And yeah, I've not yeah, I've not quite delved into that yet, but I'm very intrigued. And yeah, so I love that you've mentioned all of that. And just as a last little thing, completely off topic or on topic, up to you, just off the
Yeah.
top of your head, if there was something that you feel someone listening right now would really benefit from hearing, what would you tell them?
Ooh, that's a good question. If you're feeling like you're in a rock and a hard place and you're not sure what to do, where to turn, take a pause, take a moment, go inward, and follow
Mm,
your intuition. Start to feel your body, get those signals, have your body sync up with your mind, and yourself lead yourself to that next better version of you.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful, Adam. Thank you so, so much. It's been
Sure.
really incredible connecting with you, and I'm sure many people will reach out and be more intrigued as I equally am. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. And anyone listening, share some love for this episode, whether it's a little heart, a little comment, or obviously subscribing to really help amplify this message, and many, many more to come. Thank you so much.
That's the magic that Zest is in.